Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines, and most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I only speak to transportation professionals on this show, you guys, because I want to put the right people out here in front of you that have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve, so we can put that information out there that you can apply, utilize, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. We got a solo show today. We're going to be breaking down breaking down some articles, and then tomorrow, you guys, Fridays, as you know, our Q&A day. It's transportation sales and operations questions and answers. You provide the Q's, I'll provide the A's on the show. DM them over to me, drop them in the live stream tomorrow, whatever that looks like, you guys, and we can get that going. But today we're going to break down some articles. Got some news out there that I feel like is always relevant, and we're going to talk about that. But before we go any further, as always, you guys, I got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, vhubapp.com. Whether you're a broker, carrier, or shipper, we all need access to trailers. And most importantly, we all like making a little bit extra money because you get paid to move these trailers. You guys, you get this on top of the revenue that you can get by loading these trailers out. So if you're a broker out there and you're trying to sell an enterprise level sales solution, most of these places require drop trailers. This gives you that opportunity to go out there. So what they're working on right now, you guys, is they got Staunton, Wisconsin heading over to Milton, Ontario, and you get paid $350 US per trailer. Now they got like 140 of them over there. So again, you can grab them out of Staunton, stage them in Milwaukee, maybe down in Chicago. They just got to end up over there in Milton, Ontario. And then they also have a bunch of vans out in San Diego, Ron Burgundy's hometown. They got some roll-up vans, and they got some swing doors out there as well, 53-footers, you guys. They're going all over the place. Michigan, New Hampshire, Arkansas, Georgia, North Carolina, Mass, Texas, Tennessee, Missouri, you name it. And they range between $1,100 and $2,200 per move. And then they finally have Paragould, Arkansas, going up to Mississauga, Ontario, and that's $736 US per trailer to move those, you guys. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. My friends Zach Lonergan and Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience. Just do me a favor, let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Let me see here, you guys. All right. Sorry, I got that. And hey, I know that I got a message literally from where I do my show from, you guys, which is StreamYard, that said that they're having troubles with LinkedIn and LinkedIn Live. So if you're not seeing this coming up, or if this is coming through and there's issues, you guys, jump over to YouTube and just search for The Freight Coach, and you can see my live stream on there. I've been told by everybody who's shifted from LinkedIn over to YouTube that the stream is exponentially better and the audio quality is exponentially better, but mainly the stream, because they said I look even more handsome over on LinkedIn or YouTube, excuse me. So I'm just saying, that's always a possibility out there. But let's see here, you guys. What do we got going? Diesel fuel. As I always want to bring that constant reminder up that we're at $3.80 a gallon out there nationwide. You guys, I get all this information from the EIA.gov on that. And it's just another opportunity for you to help better quote your freight, right? Because if you're out there quoting line haul and then you get to add a fuel surcharge in there, it's a phenomenal way to kind of see where fuel is trending and then see where things are in the market and everything. And, also with that being said, you guys, I had my friends over at Green Screens on yesterday. They're, obviously they're supporters of the show. I use their product inside of my brokerage, winning a ton of freight by utilizing that. But they also ran for National Logistics Day, they ran that awesome little giveaway where, for a $500 gift card, People submitted their stories, and we read them on the show yesterday with my friend Dawn, and we put them up. They put them all up over on LinkedIn, you guys. So go over there and vote for your favorite story out of the 4 that we broke down. And if you want to hear those stories, again, you can go to Coffee with the Freight Coach audio only replay on iTunes and Spotify. That episode's up there, as well as over on the YouTube channel. And check it out and go over there and vote, right? Like $500 gift card, like that's pretty sick. And there are some pretty fucking interesting stories that are out there. And again, like Dawn said, is like, hey, if you want to see more, if you guys want to get more of these, they'll do more of those contests throughout the year, she said. And yeah, if you want to go do that, vote on them, you guys. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for because I don't want any bias, because they were all good in their own way. But get over there and vote, you guys. Help somebody win a $500 gift card, right? Who doesn't want $500? I'll take $500 right now. Sonny Sharma, my man, good fucking morning to my logistics orange shit family. I'm assuming he meant shirt, but orange shit family works too, brother. Michael Olivares, he says, good morning. Appreciate all you do, instilling great confidence in people. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for tuning in, Michael. And he says it's coming through pretty good for him on LinkedIn, which is good. I mean, I hope it is. Obviously, wherever you guys can watch it at, I want that information to come through for you guys. But that being said, let's get in. Shirt shit. It's all the same on this show, Sonny. We're all figuring it out one day at a time, my man. All right. So we're going to get into some articles here. And the Teamsters, obviously, I've been talking about them a lot lately, because frankly, I am not a fan of unions at all. And it is one of those situations that where, we found ourselves in. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not for what the union could deliver. I'm about people getting paid fairly and everything else. I just don't believe in the tactics and strategies that they do and the ideology behind, essentially what a union is. And that's socialism, in my opinion. And, because at the end of the day, I'm a capitalist at heart. I really am. But I believe in responsible capitalism. I believe in compensating people fairly. And it just seems that what they are, because again, I've done a decent amount of research on this, and it seems that the union seems to be financially always doing all right, but the members who pay in are the ones who go on strike and lose out on money and benefits and everything else. And, that's generally the way it goes, right? Like there's a pecking order, even in those, phenomenal idealistic ideologies that are out there. Someone's fucking making a lot of money in them and others aren't. That's just the reality of how a lot of this stuff works. But I want to jump in here. Let me see here. What's up? Tono, what's up, man? He says he did 2 stints at Yellow and can't wait to hear my perspective on things. So the first article we're going to break down is from ttnews.com. And it is Yellow sues the Teamsters alleging breach of contract. LTL carrier blames union for $137 million in damages. LTL carrier Yellow Corp filed suit June 27th against the International Brotherhood of Teamsters and certain affiliates in a Kansas court, alleging breach of contract and accusing the union of causing more than $137 million in damages. Yellow ranks as the number 13 on the Transport Topics top 100 list for largest for-hire carriers in North America. Before I go any further, I do want to put this in here because I think it's very important that there was a previous CEO of Yellow back in the late 90s through, I believe it was 2011, that I saw that was very, very pro-union. So a lot of the acquisitions and stuff that kind of came up really, I mean, they led to the situation that they're in right now by union having a very big stronghold on them. And then again, look at UPS as well. UPS is going through a bunch of shit right now also with it. But again, I feel like I need to put that out there, you guys, because I'm trying to bring as much of an unbiased approach to this as possible, that there was a former CEO of Yellow was very pro-union, and they made a lot of moves that strengthened that, it seems, through their acquisition strategy here for a while. So again, I feel like I want to put that out there before I go any further. The suit in the court of district in Kansas alleges breach of a binding contract, arguing that the union caused the damages by unjustifiably blocking Yellow's plan to modernize its operations for more than 8 months. Yellow argues that the restructuring plan is necessary to compete against non-union carriers that dominate the LTL business today. Known as One Yellow, the company believes that reorganization to be essential to its survival, arguing in a statement announcing that the failure to implement the plan would lead to 30,000 job losses, including 22,000 unionized positions. Yellow argues that changes would see the company institute standard industry practices. It also said on June 27th, it did not take the decision to go to court lightly, but the union's leadership has left us with no choice. The company said the union would not meet it despite good faith efforts to do so on Overland Park, Kansas-based Yellow's part. Now, let's see if this comes through. Can you guys hear this out there?
I'm Darren.
I want to show this. I'm going to present my screen. There's a message from the CEO of Yellow, and hopefully, here we go.
Darren Hawkins,
Let me know if you
CEO
guys
of
can hear
Yellow.
this.
For nearly 100 years, the Yellow family of union and non-union truckers and dock workers has handled and delivered freight for hundreds of thousands of customers, large and small, coast to coast. Today, our 30,000 jobs, mostly union jobs, are in serious jeopardy because the leadership at the International Brotherhood of Teamsters refuses to come to the table to discuss the future of our employees. For the past 8 months, we have worked in good faith to come to an agreement with the union to strengthen our employees' jobs and the future of our company.
Thanks, son.
Yellow is just one of 3 major unionized companies remaining in the less than truckload business. 6 other union companies have gone belly up in the last few decades, in large part because they couldn't compete with non-union carriers. Yellow is trying to stay in the game for our employees and customers. We're working to modernize our company to compete in a way that aligns with the union, but their leadership still refuses to meet. Surely, Teamsters leaders don't want their members, our employees, to lose their jobs. Our folks are good, hardworking people who want to earn a fair wage. At Yellow, we're raising wages twice this year. Our average driver earns more than $65,000 a year. Some make more than $100,000, and we offer full family benefits, the best the industry has to offer. Our Yellow employees live in every state across our nation, including here in Tennessee, where we employ nearly 1,500 people. We have filed a lawsuit against the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. We do not take this action lightly, but their leadership has left us with no choice. We are now fighting for the livelihood of our 30,000 employees. We will do all we can to save these American jobs. While union leaders come and go, Yellow has been around a century. Responsible leaders work together to create opportunities and maintain jobs. We are ready and willing to talk, even as we remain firm in our resolve. We simply cannot let these jobs in this company go without taking a stand. Thank you.
All right. So I wanted to play that little clip in there because I watched that video and another one the other day on it. And, okay, let me see. Yellow's Teamsters' latest trails include transit. We're positive for non-unions. Obviously, non-unionized carriers are benefiting from this right now. Saia, Old Dominion, and XPO. Were Yellow not to reorganize as planned and have to lay off all of its workers, as the company's leadership has warned would be the case. Hawkster said its business could be absorbed into existing LTL capacity in the marketplace. The company currently has 9% market share of the $58 billion LTL market, which is down from a 26% share in 2007. He noted. But the first step down the road, Chapter 11, currently has only a 50% chance of taking place. Out there, Yellow's suit is a normal part of the back and forth between the company and the union negotiations. Yellow is not the only major unionized LTL player. He added ABF Freight of Arc Best, as well as T-Force, former UPS arm. Now, what the fuck? That is a sorry, that's and then also TFI International is unionized. Chan in the LTL sector is relatively consolidated market, especially when compared to the truckload sector. The top 7 LTL players account for around 70% of the market. He estimated a factor of 10 times higher than that of the truckload market. That said, the LTL sector is going through a soft patch. He noted there's about 15 to 20% of capacity to spare. Let me see here. So essentially, then obviously, I'd need to put this out there. The Teamsters categorically denies the baseline allegations from this frivolous lawsuit, and that contract allegations are unfounded and without merit, said Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien. And Yellow Complaints alleges O'Brien orchestrated the breaches of contract and that the union endorsed the company's modernization efforts for several years, before reversing. In a response, the union argues it has a collective bargaining agreement with Yellow, which runs through 2024 and intends to defend itself. The union has expressed concerns about the reorganization, fearing it would lead to job losses for its members out there. I would say that essentially where they are right now is going to cause a 22,000 person job loss, because it seemingly, from the research that I've done, there's some other articles out here as well, but this is just the one that I chose to break down on today's show. There's a bunch of other articles out there that essentially Yellow is on fucking thin ice financially. And without a lot of this reorganization that they're talking about and bringing it in, is that they're going to fuck. It seems, I can't say that they're going to go bankrupt and lose everything and have to shut their doors, but it seems that that's where it's going to lead to if they can't roll everything up into, it's One Yellow, I believe is what it is, the network. Yeah, One Yellow, excuse me, is what they're trying to roll it all up into. And it seems that the union is taking a stance where they're vehemently against the roll up. And essentially, it's going to lead to the loss of 22,000 members' jobs out there. And again, like, this is my problem with the union is, are you really for workers' rights? Like, really for workers' rights? Because, like, I did a little bit of digging, and you can see that, obviously you got to pay in to the union every single month. And these are the things that happen. But why is it always going into a collective bargaining agreement all the time? And then you see, like, a lot of things come to light, like paid time off wasn't necessarily a thing. And there's a lot of shit that a lot of other companies who are non-unionized are pretty standard with, right? And I just think that for me personally, it's a joke. I don't agree with it at all. I'm very much against what the unions have been doing here as of recent. It seems that they're strong arming it. And then for what, right? Like, are they, unless the union's going to come in and buy Yellow and then run it? But I mean, I think that the union, according to this article, has a pretty poor track record of keeping businesses open, that when they infect them with it, then all of a sudden they go out of business. So again, make your own opinion on this, you guys. The links to these articles are put up on the YouTube channel, The Freight Coach, as well as a copy of the Freight Coach audio only replay of this. Do your own research on this. But my stance is pretty simple. I'm about less people in their pockets. Again, like, I just don't agree with the union stance on this and other things that are out there, because really, who's going to suffer? The union's heavily funded, right? They got deep fucking pockets. All those executives that they're interviewing for this are flying private, staying in 5-star hotels, while the workers are getting fucked. All right. Like, that's who suffers here. The workers are going to get fucked. The union's going to be fine. They'll infect some other business out there. They're going to keep getting their money. The executives in there are going to keep flying private, keep their big fat fucking salaries, while all these drivers and workers are going to be fucking thrown to the wayside. And they don't care. They're disposable. They'll just find somebody else to do it. So that's my opinion on it. And that article is from TT News. And then another one that I wanted to break down is from FreightWaves, and it's XPO workers oust the Teamsters at Miami area site of groundbreaking contract. Hialeah facility was the first location where unions successfully negotiated a contract with XPO, but it's out in less than 2 years. Workers at this location where they successfully negotiated the contract has voted to decertify the union. Workers in Hialeah, Florida, near Miami, reached an agreement contract with XPO almost 2 years ago. And it was the first time that the Teamsters negotiated with them. The union had long argued that XPO delayed and dragged out talks in locations where the rank and file had voted to be represented by the Teamsters. We have been notified by the National Labor Relations Board that employees at our service center have voted to remove them. XPO told them in a statement. And this decertification election, which was held on June 1st, was requested by the employees who now join the vast majority of XPO team members. Signing the contract at Hialeah 2 years ago was quickly followed by a contract agreement with XPO at a facility in Trenton, New Jersey, where the Teamsters had voted to be represented by the union. And now one of those locations are closed or have voted to oust the Teamsters. The name respondent on the petition to decertify Teamsters Local 769 at Hialeah was Martin Garcia, who was aided in his efforts by the National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation, which also assisted in the decertification votes at XPO facilities in Cinnaminison, New Jersey, LA, and Albany, New York, where the Teamsters had one chosen election at the end of 2021. However, none of those facilities had negotiated a contract, unlike Hialeah. Teamsters officials didn't listen to us and didn't represent our interest in the workplace, Garcia said in a statement released by the foundation. My coworkers and I decided that the best way forward was to vote them out, and we're glad that we could get legal aid from the National Right to Work Foundation in exercising our rights. A spokesman for the Teamsters forwarded a request from our comment, which had not responded out there. And the NLRB page on the petition did not list election results of the publication at this time. And it says there were 70 workers who were eligible to vote in the decertification of it. And again, you got to ask yourself why. I think that the employee feedback in there from Mr. Martin Garcia was very much, it is, again, and this is what I mean, is that he says in here that the Teamsters didn't listen to us and didn't represent our interests in the workplace. Again, if you're out there and you look at the rail negotiating that have been taking place, the ports and everything, really dig into that stuff. I don't have enough time to go into today, but I broke down those articles in the past, and it's a lot of very basic shit, right? That everybody out there gets: paid time off, sick leave, all of that stuff. How can you sit there and say that you're for the rights of the workers, but you're not getting basic shit that other people do? Again, I just don't see it. And I want people to have the right to work, right? Work wherever the fuck they choose and everything else, make their own decisions. I believe in freedom at the end of the day. You guys, fuck me, right? I don't believe in any agency telling people what to do with anything. As long as you're not harming others, do you live your life and make the best decision for you and your family. But again, it's just more and more shit that keeps coming out that clearly states that the union is in the best interest of the union and not in the best interest of the employee. So again, do your own research on this stuff, you guys. This is just the articles that I've broken down. That one's from Freight Waves, and it's talking about XPO workers ousting the Teamsters. Now, excuse me, had to drink some coffee there. Sunny Sharma said, good. Cody Miller, good fucking morning to you. Zena, what is up? Good morning to you. Drew Taylor, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Michael Olivares says, agree, just another form of funneling money from the few, taking advantage and control of the many. Well said, sir. Tracy St. Clair, she's in the house. She's watching over on YouTube. Good morning to you as well. All right, third and final article is ttnews.com, and it is the FMCSA to consider broker shipper transparency. And this is just, this has been going on a lot here, and I've broke this down. And again, this is my main issue with OIDA, because OIDA was banging this drum a few years ago when the market, initially tanked with COVID, but then we're eerily silent on this issue when the market was sky high, and then have since started banging that drum again when the market dipped. And again, selectively, it seems like it's only making it to the news when this stuff is happening. And again, drumming up those bases. I just feel like if you're so passionate about a cause, you have to fucking fight for it 24/7, 365, not just when it's convenient for you. Back to the article. Federal trucking regulators have confirmed they plan to consider a controversial request by OIDA seeking a rulemaking to require broker shipper pricing documents to be shared with truckers carrying the load. The FMCSA said on June 16th that the broker and bona fide agents definitions that the agencies at the appropriate time will take up the issues of OIDA's 2020 transparency petition to provide an electronic copy of each transaction record automatically within 48 hours after the contractual service has been completed. The TIA is actively fighting OIDA on this. OIDA has long fought has long fought to protect our members' rights to access contractual documents guaranteed to them under federal regulations, said Todd Spencer, who was in a follow-up letter to Robin Hutchinson. Not only does access to these documents protect carriers from unscrupulous brokers, it helps to protect the public by providing a marketplace in which each party behaves in clear and transparent manners. Oh, if Todd Spencer was ever out there and seeing how, the reality of the real world works, because that's just in a fucking living in a cloud statement right there. It has been over 2 years since Ohio submitted its original petition, 20 months since the most recent comment period ended. And then after nearly 1,500 comments have been filed on there. For that reason, we believe an update is warranted on where the agency stands on our outstanding petition. In an interview, Spencer said he hopes the agency will soon act on there. From our perspective of the people who operate trucks, we assume that the brokers don't want to disclose information because the position they have right now is advantageous to them. Ironically, when it was advantageous for the drivers, eerily silent. Again, I just want to call that out there. And again, if they have information where they were fighting for it in 21 and 22, and there's articles, and I would love to see it. And again, I'll eat my words in there, but from the news articles that I've been able to find, banging that drum in 2020, eerily silent in 21, in 22 when the market was fucking sky high, and banging that drum again this year. So I'm just throwing that out there. TIA president Ann Ranke disagrees. I love Ann, by the way. She thinks OIDA is seeking the pricing between the shipper and broker so they can leverage their own pricing, but the broker shipper pricing information is private. They're using regulatory method used to leverage to negotiate. This doesn't sit well with us. It's not clear to me what they think we are protecting. There is some indications the FMCSA is going to act on OIDA's petition, but they have not predisposed to act out there. Ranke said that during COVID, shipping prices went to the basement and brokers were blamed for driving the prices down and making money off the pandemic. Nothing could be further from the truth. And then since then, carriers' rates have gone through the roof because people have been ordering things and out there. And then in December, TIA made it clear that fighting OIDA's petition, asking regulators to sunset a decades-old regulation that the group argues is out of alignment with the marketplace. The regulation, and again, to search with it, you guys, go into this article if you want to read this regulation. It's 49 CFR 371.3 in the federal rule book. Again, go to the link in there and you guys can read this for yourself. And then according to the TIA Vice President, Chris Burrows, the 1980 law stretches back to a very different time. And he goes on to say most carriers paid brokers a commission, and there was a concern from the Interstate Commerce Commission of rebating off of double dipping in profits that was out there. The marketplace does not operate like that today. Again, I've talked about this before, and I would talk about, and I'll say this again. The transparency thing is, again, it's like if you're forcing somebody to open their books and talk about how they negotiate profit margins with people, I think is a joke because, again, like it's only a matter of time before somebody else would fight that when the market flips in anybody else's favor. They're going to want that exact same transparency in those moments, right? So I'm not saying that there aren't fuckers out there that drive down markets and then that just do this shit, right? Like I'm not saying that there isn't shitty behavior by brokers out there. I talk about it all the time. I hate the fucking bottom feeders too. All right. I hate them too. But I think that for the most part, a lot of people would be extremely disappointed to see that most margins on loads sit at like 10 to 12% for standard drive engine reefers, right? Most of that shit sits at 10 to 12%. They would be very fucking disappointed in seeing that when you're out there bidding on freight, and then you see how little some brokers actually make on freight. And then on the certain lanes that they do make money on, it's few and far between until somebody else goes in there and bids that down. I would argue that an industry standard is 10 to 12%. I'm sure it can get a little bit higher than that. Flatbeds, probably sit around 15%. But all that other stuff that they're talking about is, I think they'd be very, very, very disappointed overall. I really do. Because at the end of the day, there's too many brokers out there. It's too competitive for anybody to be sitting at a 30, 40, 50, 60% margin. It's way too competitive for any. I don't know where they fucking pull these numbers from. I really don't, because I am very, very adamant that that is a very false claim at the end of the day. The free market operates in a beautiful way, you guys. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. This perfect utopia does not exist. And again, I just think that, at the end of the day, all it's doing is it's trying to drive more members on there. Because how does OIDA make money, right? Like that's what you really need to look into. How does OIDA make money? They make money by its members signing up and continuing to sign up. Ironically, kind of like a union a little bit at the end of the day. But again, go out there and see and do your own research on this. I don't think that this is going to go anywhere at all, because again, where's our taxpayer dollars being spent on? And I'm pro business. I'm for these drivers getting paid well above what they are, from some of these people that are out there posting the bullshit rates. I'm against those bullshit bottom feeders, 100%. But I think that in regards to this transparency thing that they're talking about, they're just going to continue to bang this drum. And then when the market flips back here, you guys, it's going to go away. All right. It's a good talking point to drive up signups. And then once the market flips, it's going to go away. Just fucking mark my words. But that's going to be it, you guys, for today. That article is from ttnews.com as well. I'll be back tomorrow. Friday, you guys, is Q&A day. So DM me your sales and operations related questions for the industry. I will answer them live on the show, or if you want me to answer them live on the show tomorrow, just drop them in the chat during it. But as always, you guys, if you guys got value today, subscribe and share the show, rank the show, get it out there, you guys. That's how we reach more people, is because if you see a value in it, your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon.